Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be going over the 7-step violator approach or contact, and this is with regards to traffic stops. So in order to keep this video brief and to the point, any type of investigations like DWIs or interdictions are going to be on the scope of the discussion in this video. We're simply going to be going over the 7-step violator contact that's commonly taught to peace officers across the United States and possibly across the world. Now, there's going to be a couple things in here that through my experience on the streets, I have changed the order of, but I'm going to go with the book and then we'll discuss those different changes before we look at actual examples. So before we even start the 7-step approach, the first thing and the most important thing you can do is know your rules, know your laws, know what is and isn't a violation. The more violations that you have stored up here, the more you're going to be able to watch, observe, and catch people doing something wrong. And those are basically your initial reasons, your probable cause to make contact with individuals, which again, you can do a simple traffic stop that may result in a much bigger investigation. Second thing, before we start the 7-step approach, is when you see that violation, don't necessarily flip your red and blue lights on right away to pull them over. Think, okay, I need a safe spot and a location to pull them over. Is this particular roadway have a shoulder on it, or maybe I want to follow them a couple blocks where it's a little bit less populated? I might not run into interference, like say in an area like Legion Square where it's very popular and you don't want to draw unnecessary attention. Is there possibly a parking garage or a restaurant or something up ahead where I can pull that vehicle into where we're off the roadway? So now we've seen the violation, we've contacted dispatch and told them where we're going to be on our traffic stop, and we found a safe location to initiate that stop. So we start our 7-step approach. Step number 1, we're going to make contact with the violator. We're going to greet them and we're going to identify ourselves and our agency. Now when you greet them, be careful. You don't want to say good morning, good evening, good afternoon. While your intent may be genuine, they may receive that as sarcastic or condescending. So try things like evening, morning, or just cut straight into your introduction. Remember, sirs and ma'ams, professionalism, 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 no matter what they throw at you. So you'll start that off by identifying yourself and your agency. In my case, Lieutenant Winters with the Los Santos Police Department. You may be Trooper X with the San Andreas Highway Patrol, or Officer so-and-so, or Sergeant so-and-so. The second step is advise them of the reason for the stop. So this is where we avoid I statements. We don't want us to be involved in this. We want to put this on them. So example, speeding. The reason for the stop today is reference to your speed. You were checked on radar at X speed. You were observed disregarding an official traffic control device, i.e. a red light. Not I checked you on radar at this speed, or I watched you run a red light. We want to put this on them. Third step is going to be the identification of the driver. You're going to request their driver's license, maybe insurance or registration for the vehicle, which you're going to check either in character or out of character. Now, this is where I talked about earlier. Sometimes I personally have found that I try and sometimes switch up step 2 and step 3. Sometimes I'll ask for their driver's license first, so that way I've got that in my hand in case they take off, and then I'll tell them why they were stopped. But sometimes people can get kind of edgy and why did you stop me? There's nothing wrong with telling them the reason for the stop first. That may avoid some headache and they may be like, yeah, you know, you caught me. Step number 4. We're going to tell them the action that's going to be taken. Now, I don't want to get them edgy at this point, so I'll just tell them, just go ahead and remain in the vehicle. And that's when I'm going to go ahead and retreat to my patrol unit and I'm going to run their driver's license, check their insurance, make sure that everything's in order, there's no warrants for their arrest. When I return to the vehicle, part B of step 4 kicks in and I'm going to let them know, today you're going to be receiving a citation or a warning for the following violations. So that's step 4. Step 5 is take the actual action. You know, you can produce your notepad if you want to, but you can basically tell them what I need you to do is you're receiving a verbal warning today, so there's nothing to be done, or you're receiving a written warning today, I need you to sign up here. There's no action to be taken on your part. If you're issuing a citation or a fine, I need you to sign here on the top. Your signature is not an admission of guilt, it's just a promise to get in contact with the local municipality, whether that be Los Santos Municipal Court or whatever, within the time frame. Typically it's 14 days. Now, if you're issuing a fine to them, you can let them know you're receiving a fine today for this violation. This fine needs to be paid at this time. or within a certain amount of time, or a warrant may be issued for your arrest. But you basically take the action that you told them was going to happen. Step 6 is you explain what the violator must do. So this kind of goes back into that. You got to get in contact with the court, reference this charge, or you must pay the fine now, or if it's a warning, there's no action to be taken on your part. Just drive safe. And then step 7, the easiest one, is break the contact. And that's when you let them know they're free to leave. Again, we're not going to go into tactics here. I do suggest you kind of watch the violator necessarily before you turn your back on them. Let them kind of drive away a minute, but just take your time. But again, tactics and more advanced interrogations on the roadside are not what we're going to discuss today. So now let's take a look at this actually in action. What in the world? All right, so we've got our first traffic stop here. Clear this intersection. Just ran that red light and went straight from a right turn only lane. So pick your stop location first. It doesn't have to be right away. Up here we've got some parking lots where you can pull into. So we'll go ahead and light him up. 404 is going to be out on traffic. It's going to be a black Banshee at Popular Street and Supply Street. License plate 42 Robert, Ida Henry 153.
There a problem, officer?
Yes, sir. We'll get to that here in a second, man. Just for my safety and your safety, do you mind pulling into this gas station parking lot for me, partner?
Yeah, whatever.
404. We're going to be relocating to the gas station at Popular Street and Olympic Freeway. All right, so we're going to get out, do a safe driver side approach here, or correction, passenger side approach, outside of the light. Evening, sir. I'm Lieutenant Winters with the Los Santos Police Department. Are you aware of the reason for the stop today, partner?
Shit. I think I might have ran a red back there.
Okay, man, I appreciate your honesty today. The reason for the stop is in reference to disregarding a red light back there. In addition to that red light, you also did go straight from a right turn only lane, disregarding an official traffic control device. There's nothing, no emergency or anything like that today, is there?
No, sir.
Okay, partner, do you have your driver's license and your proof of insurance on the vehicle?
Yeah, I do. Just
Okay.
1 second.
All right. So he's giving us consent now to check his information, so we'll go ahead and check it. Okay, Mr. Reese. So you've got current insurance on the vehicle right now. You said there's no emergency or any reason for the red light today?
Nah, no, sir.
Okay, Mr. Reese, if you do me a favor and you remain in your vehicle, I'll be right back with you in 1 second, okay?
Alright.
404. If I get a license and warrants check, subject's first name is going to be Mary Adam Robert Charles Edward Lincoln. Last name Robert Edward Sam Edward. It's going to be on a black male, date of birth 7/22 of 1990. So once we've got our warrants and license check, whether you run them through CAT or through dispatch, we've identified ourselves, we've gone over the violations, and we're going to go back here and we're going to tell them what's going to happen now. Mr. Reese, you there?
Yeah. My bad.
Okay. Mr. Reese, here's what's going to happen today, buddy. I appreciate your honesty. There's going to be one verbal warning today for the red light. You are going to receive one citation today in reference to disregarding that official traffic control device and going straight from the right turn only lane, okay?
Alright.
Okay, Mr. Reese, what I'm going to need you to do today is I'm going to need you to sign on the top of this citation here. Your signature is not an admission of guilt. It is simply a promise to get in contact with the Los Santos Municipal Court within 14 days. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Reese, if I can just get your signature right here on that top line, and we'll be good to go.
Alright. And there you go.
Okay, Mr. Reese, I greatly appreciate your cooperation. Here is your driver's license back, sir. Like I said, you've got 14 days to get in contact with the court. Your signature is not an admission of guilt, it's just a promise to get in contact with the court and enter a plea in. You have a safe evening, sir, okay?
Alright. Appreciate you cut me a little slack there.
All right, take care, sir.
Yeah, you too.
404 is going to be clear this traffic stop back in service. All right, so there you have it. A fairly simple, straightforward traffic stop using that 7-step violator approach. Now, with regards to tactics, roadside investigations, stop locations, lighting techniques, passenger side versus driver side approaches. There's a whole gambit of additional information regarding the tactics of executing a traffic stop, which again is beyond the scope of this video. We may do another video of that in the future. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions, make sure and ask a senior officer or a field training officer or myself. Would be more than glad to help you. You guys have a safe one.